Back with episode 4, season 2 of Staring at the Game through my review. We played Buford Green. This game, we won. I'm gonna get right into this first play though. So here we got, this is the first play on defense. I got off the block. Like I kind of said last week, remember I was telling you how I was working on pulling and ripping and getting off those blocks easier. On this play, I definitely got off the block pretty fast and easy. I already knew, first play as a DB, you're trying to figure out what's what is most likely to happen. So I'm already kind of thinking it was going to be run. So, I got my eyes on the receiver. He tried to block me, pulled and ripped, worked on what, like I said, we were working on in practice with Coach Terrell. I used that, got off the block. Pull, rip, get off the block, and go make a tackle. So, yeah, that was a good tackle. Play one more time, slow motion. Get my hands on, see what's happening in the backfield, and rip off, and go make a tackle. That was a good play. Like I said last week, it feels good, being able to see what I practice on and then go and do it in a game. And then with the tackle, that was a pretty, good tackle. I could have ran my feet just a little more, but that was a good tackle. We definitely do work on that in practice too, coming to balance when it comes to our tackles. So I did come to balance, went through and made the tackle. So that was a good tackle. Just a good play. Good way to start the game. This next play is my touchdown. I'm going to just let it play first. That was a good catch. So what I want to touch on with this touchdown, just this whole situation, last week, I wasn't really happy last week with, just everything that happened, opportunities and just overall, just, my input on the game. I'm a player. I want to, contribute to my team, to my team winning. And so when I don't contribute, or if I don't contribute in, effective ways, that doesn't really, that doesn't really sit right with me. So this game, I got a couple opportunities. I scored on this play. And another thing I just want to say, people it could be youth football, middle school, high school. I don't want to say learn from me, but just look at my situation. If you're ever feeling like you're not, given the right opportunities you're deserving of, just look at my situation. Went from last week to not really, popping off how I normally do to, this week getting that ball and going to score. I kind of felt like I was back to how, used to be, because I remember 10U, 9U, all those years I used to just be, scoring and scoring. But as you get older and you really figure out what you're going to really play when you get to that, that high school level, for me, which is going to be more on the defensive side of the ball, you start to, move away from the offensive side. But, when I do get opportunities to go do something on the other side of the ball, I definitely take that chance. So, just one last point I want to touch on is, with me, I've been, facing adversity, my whole life. So, when I get in there and go make a play and go put points on the board, that definitely, is a good feeling. I'll do what I do and just get the ball in my hands, because once I get the ball in my hands, 9 times out of 10 is housework. So that's just a great catch, a great way to get in the end zone. Next play, we got, this is the interception. Let it play real quick. Yeah, that's just a great play. With this play, I really impressed myself with this play. In the moment, you're playing this fourth down, you're playing defense. He ran like a whip route, a zig route, and I went in there with the intention of just knocking the ball down, getting a PBU, but I felt the ball, I had the ball, and then I just cuffed it. And I came up with the ball. I was excited because I didn't expect that. That's probably one of the best plays I ever made in my youth career. So that was a great play. That was good defense. I stayed square, like Coach Jones Coach Jones and Coach Trail teaches me, stay square. It was 4th down and short, so I knew, I knew the kid in front of me, couldn't beat me going deep. And, if he did run a deep route, I'd have stayed with him. But it was 4th and short, so I already had in my mind that it was going to be some short slant out, something like that. And, that's why I kind of triggered a little bit. And then I didn't take that bait on that slant because, most of the times when playing DB, you're really, antsy. And you want, you're anticipating stuff. So, that slant, a lot of people, I've seen some plays where people jump on that slant and then, they get beat. But, I stayed square, stayed patient, and jumped on that whip route. But, I'm going to replay that one more time. I definitely impressed myself with this play. Just being able to get in there and cuff the ball and get a pick. That's my 3rd pick of the season, so I'm going to, try to stack more. But that's definitely going in my top, my top 3 favorite plays of my youth career. He ran a whip route, drive, playing off that foot. I took an extra step. I normally, training with Coach Jones to plant, take 1, 2, and then, go from there. I took an extra step, dealing with, sometimes a better receiver, he can get out that break a little faster and beat me. So that's definitely, whenever I make a good play, I always try to find something I could have done better on that play. So that's just the one thing I could have done a little better on. But great way to drive on it, get my hands to secure the tackle just in case I didn't get the ball. It's just another catch, just a little screen. Kind of bobbled the ball. I catch it on the first time, but way to get out of there and go make some with it. That was a 1st down, so way to get through there and make something happen. And this is just a play with me blocking. I went over these plays for every game I don't went over. It's always gonna be, you always gonna see me blocking. Like I said, I'm a team player first, so I'm always getting there and block for my guys. RJ got in there, made somebody miss. That's a great play. Great blocking. Just got to try to work on getting my hands a little more inside when I'm blocking and try to keep it from staying outside, but that was a pretty decent block. Good job by RJ to hold the ball because he tried to strip it out. That's a good job, but that's pretty much the end of this episode. One last thing I wanted to touch on was back to when I was talking about the touchdown and just the opportunities and taking advantage. When you go through just all my youth years of playing football, from all my coaches, I pride myself off, never being disrespectful to my coaches. I'm taught to, certain thing happen in practice to meet with them after practice, but I'm never taught to, be disrespectful to my coaches. So going from, 6U with, Coach Kelly, Coach Mario, 7 and 8U with Coach Rich, and 9U, 10U with Coach Moffitt, Coach B-Jack, 11U, 12U with Coach Flanagan, Coach Cam, 11U, 12U, 13, middle school ball with Coach Cannon. That was my first year, and then, this year with Coach Kamen and Coach D-Rob. You can ask all of them, they'll always tell you, I was the hardest worker on that team, leading from the front no matter what. And just having a good mentality coming into practice and just coming to the team, bringing good energy. So being, disrespectful to, a coach, that's never, how I'm taught. But I will always, let my coach know what I see as I should, you know what I mean? Let them know what I see, let them know what's there. From there, that's just, between me and the quarterback, get that timing right. Like I said, man, just taking advantage of my opportunities. And like I said, that's something that, y'all can kind of get from, this game. And like I said, if you're a youth athlete, middle, high school, just something that you can get from this. But that was definitely a pretty decent game for me. Yeah, so next week we got Buford Gold. Got my boy RJ, so we're going to see them again. Played them in the Jamboree, but this is real. It's for real this time. So we're going to see them again. And I'll see y'all next week. Adra.
Staring at the world through my rearview. Just looking back at the world from another level, you know what I mean? Staring. Multiple gunshots.